This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings, powered by eXp Realty. Online at madeformoreliving.com.
On the show today, we have a Bay Area transplant. So normally people are moving from the Bay Area to buy a house, but we actually have somebody that moved from the Bay Area and became a real estate agent, a local real estate agent. And she is #Nextdoor famous. Thank you for being on the show today, JoEllen.
Thank you for having me, Johnny.
Happy to have you here. You spoke at one of the team meetings a while back for us, and everybody in the room was blown away. They loved your energy, they loved your positivity, and your creativity, specifically around what you're doing with the Nextdoor app. So you mind bringing us up to speed? So you moved from the Bay Area to Cameron Park in what year was it?
In 2022.
2022, and then you're like, hey, I need to generate business. How am I going to do this? Walk us through the Nextdoor story.
Yes, so I laid on my floor, imagined all of my for sale signs in the neighborhood, and then I had a conversation with my husband. I got it. This is what I'm going to do. I am going to utilize the Nextdoor app to get noticed and, be your go-to local realtor by using the community app.
So you saw the app. What gave you that idea? Had you used it in the Bay or?
I used it in the Bay, but mainly just for crime, looking at who got broken into or what's going on in the neighborhood.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Lost dogs.
It's true.
Lost dogs.
That's what a lot of people use the Nextdoor app for, is to find out what kind of things are going on in their neighborhood.
Where the poo is on the sidewalk.
And you know what? It's but I've just said, no, I'm going to use the Nextdoor app. People are going to get to know me. I'm going to be a community builder, and I'm going to stand out and help people in the community. And that's just what I did.
So you came out here in 2022, started using Nextdoor. Walk us through that first year. How did the first year unveil for you?
So what happened was I had my first event, which was an ice cream social, 4th of July in the park, and took pictures of myself with my table, my pop-up, and the ice cream, and said, hey, neighbors, come down, get a free ice cream on me, let's build community. And they showed up.
How many?
Good for you.
I think we had about 25 people that day.
Oh my gosh.
And they were its. My husband was helping me. My daughter was helping me. The neighbor down the street helped me. We did do posters or flyers. We handed out flyers the day before.
Okay.
And then the flyer went into the Nextdoor app, and then me also inviting them.
Okay, so you did invite some people ahead of time.
Yeah, for help. Mm-hmm.
All in, about how much time would you say you spent organizing
A couple
this?
days.
Couple days?
Yeah, just
Okay.
putting it together.
And so you met 25 people. Now you have 25 new friends within the community. Mm-hmm. And what happened after that?
After that, I held a purse drive for a nonprofit women's organization.
What's a purse drive?
So gently used purses that women could use that maybe can't afford one to go to a job with, or just have a purse to carry their items in. So I posted a post on Nextdoor, and I asked neighbors to please help me with this community drive. And I think I raised 150 or 160 purses.
Wow.
Good for you.
Yeah. And the women
have too many purses.
And just knocking on those doors, going up there, collecting them. And I think that month I got nominated for Woman of the Month.
Wow, good
Woman
for
of the
you.
Month
That's
for
awesome.
your community, or
for the drive that I held for
Okay.
it was actually Dress for Success, nonprofit here in Sacramento, and during Women's Month they nominated me.
That's
for you.
incredible.
Yeah.
So number one, ice cream social. Second event was a purse drive.
Mm-hmm. And then I took all the content from the purses and posted it on Nextdoor, and I thanked the community and showed them what we did together.
Wonderful. And so you're doing all these community events. I think you told me you did about 12 your first year?
My first year.
Were you intentional about that? Like you want to do one a month or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did. So I did one a month. One was for Alzheimer's, food drive, CASA. I'm a champion for CASA, court-appointed service advisors for children going through the foster system in El
good for
Dorado
you.
County.
Yes.
What
That's
don't
important.
you do, JoEllen? This is incredible.
But tell us your motivation in creating these events and this community engagement. Talk about, where that comes from and what you're trying to accomplish there. Because obviously it's a lot of work and time and sometimes money and effort.
I guess when you're just made for this, it doesn't take up a lot of time. I help CASA because I already have boots on the ground. I'm already mixing with the businesses in the community. Mm-hmm. So I just then share CASA. It's just something that's on my heart, is just to help people. I love throwing events. I'm a marketer. I love marketing and branding.
Yep.
And getting people together and just throwing parties.
You're definitely a party person.
But for people that are listening, explain to them why doing what you're doing is a great idea and how important it is to have engagement and community involvement, not only for your own personal growth and obviously just what it does in general, how it helps the community, but the benefits that you receive from it.
Yeah, as a realtor, I think we all have heard that this is a relationship-driven business.
Yep.
And so I became relationship-driven because that's who I am already. Naturally. Yeah. So I have gotten neighbors that I go out and have coffee with. I sent my husband over to a neighbor's that saw me on Nextdoor to go cut her prunes and take a barbecue down the street for her to a friend's house. You know, I posted an event and took some women down to a new community, the 55 and older, that they didn't know about. So I already have boots on the ground, and I'm just taking this information and sharing it back in my community and then getting the community involved. And next thing you know, the business comes. 11 listing appointments in 1 year, my very first year.
Good for you.
Wow.
No paid ads, strictly organic.
That's a good point, because there is a paid ad version of Nextdoor, right? But you don't use that?
No ads at all.
No ads.
Everything is organic.
Got it.
I think people appreciate that. Again, like you said, it's a relationship-driven industry. And when you show who you are, and especially if you show some humility and you show that you're there to serve, and it's not all about you, and it's about how can I serve others and help others, people really appreciate that, and that's the type of people they want to do business with, and who they trust, because that's a big issue. Obviously, they need to develop that trust, and you develop that trust by showing that you're there to serve.
That's right. And one night, exactly what you're saying is, one night I was picking up Mexican food at the local restaurant, and a family came up to me, and the gentleman said, "Hi, are you JoEllen Brooks?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Thank you for all the community work that you've done here in our area." And then he looked to his wife and said, "She's our local realtor."
Love it. That's an endorsement right there. And then, so you did 12 events.
12 events.
Out of those first 12, what would you say was your most successful one?
They are all very successful. Yeah, they're all very successful. I hosted an event for the assisted living community. I invited the sales director to allow me to host her an event at a winery, and she handled the guest list.
Wow.
That was really cool, because now I'm working with home health, physical therapy, sales director for assisted living. I also then had a downsizing declutter event at the assisted living community, invited the neighbors in the neighborhood, and then I had my declutter company come in and speak on how to downsize and declutter.
That's so cool.
I'm also connecting other businesses in the community.
I love that. Who's your declutter company? I need to take a note of this.
New Leaf Senior Transitions.
New Leaf Senior Transitions.
They're absolutely amazing. I also have them help with any of my clients packing, and moving and taking rid of and doing donations.
What's the name of the company again?
New Leaf Senior Transition.
And they help with decluttering?
They help with decluttering, downsizing. So they'll go in the house and help. You may have a senior lady who needs help, or a husband and wife, and they can't do all the packing or downsizing. So they'll come and they have a great team. I've worked with them for many years now.
I doubt you need that, but I bet you know a lot of people, especially some of your clients.
Absolutely.
Right, Johnny? That could definitely benefit from that service.
Most definitely. I was recently talking with a guy from Sacramento, and that was his number one concern. I think he had I couldn't tell if it was a knee or a hip. He was just moving a little bit slower, older gentleman, and he's like, "That's my number one concern." He's like, "I don't have a lot of stuff, but I physically cannot pack it up."
Yeah.
No,
And
exactly.
So if I'd known about New Leaf, I would have contacted them.
Yes, please do. Please contact Stacey. I'll give you her phone number.
Okay.
But it's been a great service for me to add this type of organization. Most of my clients that I do get off the Nextdoor app are seniors.
Makes sense. Because you
Yeah.
are doing all these community things for them. And most people, like if you're meeting for coffee or other people are typically at work. Seniors are probably
at home, and
Yeah.
they need us. They don't have time, or they don't know who to call. Are they going to be on the phone for a long time? So what I do is they'll call me off of Nextdoor, ask me to come for a listing appointment. And once I get the listing appointment, I let them know that I have a team that will come in. I will sit there while these movers come in and interview for the position, as well as New Leaf. So I sit there with them
wow.
to make sure everything goes smoothly.
And that's exactly what people want.
Yeah.
They want that hands-on, help me with this process, rather than here's a list of people, interview them and figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's and like you've said, you've proven through your acts of service and your community involvement that you're that type of person and that you have that experience. Because a lot of people say they can do that, but when you show it, it takes it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
That's right. And I've been teaching agents all over the world right now on how to utilize the Nextdoor app, because we can all do this. It's not really that hard. It's a little bit of time out of your day during the week.
Yeah.
Okay. But for people who are listening who say, oh my goodness, there's absolutely no way I could ever put on an event, even for 20 people. I'm more of an introvert person. And you're a different person, JoEllen. And obviously you were made to do this. You're born to do this.
Yeah.
But I'm not. Encourage that person who thinks that this is impossible for them.
I would say it's not about how, but it's about who you're going to do it with. And all you need to do is just find another partner or a buddy or a business and say, hey, I would love to do this with you. Can we use your space? I will put an event out on Nextdoor, and we will invite our community to come in, and let's do whatever it may be, like a nutrition shop. I've done that before at the local nutrition shop, and I brought in the neighbors, and we talk about health foods.
Simple.
Love that. Yeah, so maybe you don't have all the skills, but you definitely have some skills,
You have some skills
that can contribute to doing things like this, and find a partner who has the other skills.
Well, that's
you
what-
come together and make it happen.
That's what I love about what JoEllen was saying, though. So I have done a number of mixers. I am not an extrovert at all, but I partnered with a guy who had a great network.
And Johnny's a great dancer, though, as well.
Oh,
Great.
I
He
bet.
leaves that out all the
Yeah,
time.
Yeah, dance machine over here.
I see the Carlton.
There you go. Exactly. You nailed it. But I would not have put on those events if I wasn't partnered with him, if I wasn't partnered with Trevor. So exactly what you're saying, I can totally see it because I'm a massive introvert. Partner with somebody who's maybe an extrovert. Partner with somebody who can help you with that, because that extrovert is going to need maybe the detail stuff that the introvert has, and you guys can both win together. So I love the idea. Don't try to eat the whole elephant by yourself. Bite at a time. Find somebody to help you.
Not
Great
about
advice.
how, but who.
Yep, not how, but who. Great
That's
book.
what I live by.
Dan Sullivan, and Benjamin Hardy. Great book.
Great book.
So when we come back, we will be talking about some best practices that you've experienced or uncovered over the years with Nextdoor, and how agents can use that in their businesses.
Have you realized, like many people in our area, how much equity you have built up in your home over these past many years, maybe even decades? A lot of sweat, a lot of time, and now you are ready to cash out, take advantage of this opportunity. Maybe you and your spouse have thought and talked about moving out of state. You want to retire, and this is just the right time, and you want to take advantage, again, of all of that equity. Well, you should reach out to our good friend, Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty. There's a reason why so many people have trusted him and his team to sell their home. In fact, they've got more 5-star Google reviews than any other real estate team in our area. In fact, they were voted #1 team in Roseville for 3 straight years. And so if you're thinking about selling your home, maybe you don't even want to go through all the hassles of open houses and showings and organizing and doing some needed repairs. You just want to sell your home fast and for the most money possible. He can get you at least 3 cash offers on your home in as-is condition. Again, 3 cash offers on your home in as-is condition. What do? You just Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty. Again, Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty and get more for your home.